Good to see you, everyone. My name is Robbie Howell. If you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you know that I really don't hesitate to voice my displeasure when I see something in Age of Empires or other games I love that strikes me as being insufficient or even downright predatory. I've been rather critical over the last 2 or 3 years that I've been creating content for the game, and I stand behind that criticism in almost its entirety. That said, I'd like to take this opportunity today to say thank you. Let us not blame the Forgotten team, and certainly not the devs themselves, for some of the missteps that the game has made. I'm sure that some of it can be attributed to them, but I don't think it's necessarily fair or reasonable to dwell on that. Instead, as mentioned today, I'd like to say thank you. Not just because we are receiving the most loaded DLC in history, not only because it is also coming with a massive free patch that brings endless suggestions that people have been making for years to light, but on top of all of that, there are even a couple of direct references here to my work on this channel, though I'm sure others have referenced it before, and I'm not going to take full credit in any way, shape, or form. And it is extremely gratifying feeling like the voice of the community is being listened to. And so, for that, my friends at Forgotten, thank you. You guys are doing great work with this. Assuming this DLC is not priced ridiculously, this is looking like it's going to be the best piece of content that the game has received, maybe since the Conqueror's expansion. And I should note, I am not going to be holding this sucker to a $15 price tag. That would be unreasonable. But we'll talk a little more about pricing after we read through the notes. Let's review, and I'm going to just touch upon and highlight some of the things that I am personally most excited by, and that also give me the opportunity to do a little bit of a victory lap. Let's take a look. I'm not on the forum. Stability, graphics, audio. There's probably some really cool stuff here, but a lot of this is not really interesting to me. Now, first exciting thing, castles. I was planning on making a video discussing what the potential castle skins could be for every single civilization in the game, and God, I'm so glad they beat me to the punch. These look great. Not perfect, obviously, we're not going to be talking about perfect here, but who cares? They're awesome, and I'm very, very happy to see them. On top of that, for free, I was proposing this as a paid DLC. God damn, guys, you have outdone yourself. So they say, ooh, let's have a sneak peek. Can you guess which civilization they belong to? Well, let's take a look here, guys. I am just going to freeball and guess. Just guess right off rip. This one here, to me, kind of has a Himalayan look. But I'm guessing these are for existing civilizations. So if I had to guess Chinese at a stretch Vietnamese, well, maybe they have it be the Mongols and they're like using some of their much later like Yuan architecture. I'm not sure. Okay, and let's see what we have now. This one is almost certainly Byzantine, no doubt about that. Oh shoot. Oh, this one's obvious. How am I not getting this? Oh god, it'll come to me. Am I just gonna miss this one? Let me do just free ball, and I can laugh at myself later down the line when I'm proven to be, like, completely wrong. No, I don't want to be wrong. I hate being wrong. Okay. This looks Berber to me. We're committing. Berber. What's this one up here? This one right here. What are you? You look to me to be... This one I'm pretty sure I'm wrong on. I'm going to say Dravidians. No, it's not Dravidians. Bengalis. Final guess. Okay, and then what do we have down here? Ooh, that's really interesting. I'm sure there's a ton of details people have picked out on. I have not been following the discourse at all. Oh man, architecture is really not a strong suit. Looks kind of Portuguese. Then what's this fine little fellow? Let's go scroll over to him. This one right here. Probably Viking. I'm going to guess, yeah, Viking. That seems pretty clear. And then, what else do we have? Ooh, this one is quite exciting. What is this? Huh. This one is so cool. Looks small. Looks kind of paganish to me. Or am I just making that up? I might be making that up. I wonder, is this going to be something like really funky like the Hun one? Because it looks kind of Romanish, but then The color scheme is completely different. No, it doesn't really look Romanish, though, does it? How wild would it be if this was actually the Hun one? Because what are they going to do for a Hun castle? I don't know. There's probably something really obvious here. I am going to do a Hail Mary and say Huns. And then you down here. This is another one that I'm sure every architect historian is screaming at me about. Come on, Robbie, you can do it. No, I really can't. Unfortunately, I suck. Well, it has that turquoise on it. Ooh, that's probably significant. It has that little turquoise band around the turrets right here. Persian. Final guess, that's Persian. And then this is Korean. I would put money on this one being Korean. It even looks like the castle I suggested in my Korean remake. Okay, well that was fun. I am looking forward to getting all of those wrong. I bet with some research, you could probably guess all these pretty comfortably, but this was really, really fun. I look forward to seeing what the answers for this was. And I'd love to see them do little quizzicals like this more commonly with their announcements. Fantastic stuff. Now, let's see. Unique units. Unique unit elite upgrade visuals. Now, I am not going to pretend like these are all historically accurate. Obviously, a lot of them are nowhere close. However, not only is this a step in the right direction, but best of all, it is free swag. Free swag is awesome. Imagine how many great things this is going to open up for modders. Imagine how many people are going to be like, oh, that looks sick, I want to get the elite upgrade more now. It's a huge win for casuals, and I love it. Thank you. And before I forget, since I'm being thankful today, for these new castle skins, I believe being released for free, thank you. These are fantastic. I love them. And then, yep, they swapped some like precursor units in for some of the existing elites. Yep, awesome. Love it, love it, love it. Regional monk and monastery visuals. Yeah. Longtime viewers of the channel may remember my massive religious proposal overhaul way back in the day. Go take a look at that up here. It was a cool video. And one of the things I did talk a lot about was regional monk skinning. Some of the ones I proposed even look quite similar, like this little guy right here. That looks similar to one of the things I proposed. Obviously, they use a lot of existing ones, but then that looks fantastic. That looks fantastic. That looks fantastic. I am so pleased. Beautiful. These look great. They are pure upside. Pure upside. And on top of that, new monasteries. Oh, incredible. The Ethiopians getting their own, the Byzantines. Hopefully the Bulgarians get this too. It would be more accurate. I'm delighted. For the monks and the monastery skins, thank you. These are wonderful. Attack animations. Oh, that's cool. That's nice. Again, not really what I'm focused on. Idle animations. Yep, that's combat animation. That's awesome. Free swag. We love it. That's great. Now, here's one of the things that made me really happy. New color keys for regional units, buildings, and unique buildings. This is something I actually did in my builds back when I was using the light background. Back when I was doing l'avant-garde builds, to use the technical channel terminology. I'll link one up here that demonstrates what I'm talking about well. I actually used this pretty much exact shade of blue for regionals, regional units. And the regional building one is a little different from what I use, but this pink is actually what I use for unique buildings as well. Now, maybe this is conversion evolution. I will not take credit. Maybe someone else used it as well, and they saw like a preponderance of interest in the thing. But I still feel touched. And more importantly than any of that, this is huge. Visual clarity is wonderful, and I love it. This is an interesting little tech tree, isn't it? Definitely for one of the new civilizations. They're missing Arbalest, missing hand cannon, they have fire lance, miss halberdier, miss the knight line, camel rider, step lancer, and miss bloodlines, but have full cavalry archers, full infantry. Who could that be? My guess is that this is a Tangut tech tree. Missing knights on them is a very interesting choice. I kind of dig that. And if not Tangut, it could fit for a Tibetan civilization if we were going to get it, though I think that's a little more iffy, but I don't hate it. I'd say Tangut probably. Consistent wording. We love consistency. This is casual friendly. Technology tree panel. Nice. Random fixes. Love that. attack and armor display hovering over things. And again, reminder, all of this is frickin' free. I mean, besides like this exact tech tree, I guess, but like all this is just free swag, visual updates, clarifications. Awesome. Shock infantry used by enemy. Yeah, that's smart. I kind of dig that classification. Jian Swordsman. Yeah, it's probably going to be a unique unit. And my guess, since I think the Jian was used on the early side, that might be what they do. If they time split China, I will be so happy. And Jian Swordsman, maybe a unique unit for like, maybe even a regional unit for Chinese civs. And then, probably not. Unique unit, maybe for a Tang or a Song civilization. Something like that. Or it could be that this is like some Chronicles style Three Kingdoms thing, because Jian was kind of associated with that too. Which, as long as it's separate from everything else, and that's not the rest of the civilizations in the DLC, I'd like them all to be full civilizations, please. And that would be awesome. Have it be a separate thing people can buy. I dig that. Three Kingdoms sounds like an awesome Chronicles thing, so long as it's not subbing out other content. Open the editors directly from main. Yeah, great, awesome. Code of conduct. Oh no! In before I'm banned. I've been such a butthole to you guys. But either way, for all of this free swag, quality of life, clarifications, graphical updates, thank you. This looks awesome. A whole bunch of things that don't really interest me that much. I'm sure there's some amazing stuff here, but I'm just not focusing on it. A whole bunch of campaign updates, probably to accommodate the new stuff. Now, I've been told there's some consequential balance changes. This is kind of interesting. Yeah, get rid of that. That's a holdover. Now, here's something wonderful that I really, really like. Supplies removed. Infantry just plain cheaper. And a little bit faster. And upgrade times reduced. Yep, makes sword line more accessible. Arson feudal age. That's pretty cool. So this is, if nothing else, in the direction of the changes I proposed they make to infantry back in my Infantry Overhaul video. Go take a look up there. Where I thought that infantry should be the thing that you can spam. It should be cheap. It should be easily trainable. It has low train time. And ideally it would have a tech where, the logistics, I think it's called, in Age of Empires 1, where it reduces population space. So you can blot out the map with infantry and use that to control space. Archers use range to control space. Cavalry use speed to control space. Infantry should use bodies to control space. This is not quite that. It's making them faster, which reduces a little bit of their identity. It does make them cheaper, but it removes supplies. It makes them more accessible, which is good. And the arson sooner is kind of a cool thing. Siege, by the way, controls space by eating your base. So it forces you to come to them. And this, again, kind of pushes infantry in that direction as well. Overall, promising. Hopefully it continues to improve. Okay, I've been told there's some consequential stuff here. Wow, that's a big attack stat. And then, cool, yep. I don't mind that at all. That's a reference to Flower Wars, because you need to capture 4 enemies to become Guao Civil. That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, not my favorite unit to put that effect on, but I like it, and it makes the unit a lot more interesting, if nothing else. Flemish militia produced early on. I don't know. Don't love the unit. Should be I prefer to see a Flemish civilization than just have the Burgundians do that as well. But at least this is like vaguely interesting. Seems like a cool unit. Yeah, hopefully they get rid of the button and replace it with something cooler. Not to say I don't like avant-garde mechanics, by the way, but that one is just, it gives a bad name to all the other avant-garde mechanics. Let's see. Ah, lovely. Look at all these regions. Remember when you bastards said, "Oh, Robbie, 3 regionals is way too many." Fuck you. They got 3 regionals now too, baby. Fire Lancers. Hey, they even called it rocket carts. I think that's very similar to the name I proposed. That they call them as well. Fire cart, rocket cart, something like that. Nice. Lo Chuan. I have no idea what that is. I'd have to look it up. Dragon ship. Sure, whatever. Fine by me. I don't know the history behind these things, but they do seem to love them. Get rid of this stupid ass thing. Fire guys move faster. Lo Chuan fire rockets. Sick. So it's a siege thing. That's awesome. Yeah, this makes this technology a million times cooler. Lose access to camels. Mangonel, because people are talking about the rocket cart. In my Discord, people are talking about the rocket cart replacing Mangonel. Lose access to this. Oh, so this is like a cannon ship. Or like a catapult ship. Great, yep, that was a thing. I think History of Song? No, it's the Ming one that talks about the catapult ships. I can't remember. Sick, either way. Maybe it was Song. Okay, other things that I care about. A bunch of this is, I'm sure, extremely consequential. Birotechnia. Kind of a lame name. Unless this is like some awesome historical reference I'm not getting. Maybe that was like the name of a foot regiment or something. But as is, it just sounds to me like an Italianization of the English word pyrotechnics. So maybe I'm missing the history there. Pavese was kind of a weird technology. Yeah, just make it a Civ bonus. Great, love it. And makes your own condos better than allies. I like that. Okay, now gain additional movement speed and +1 attack when charging an enemy. That is very similar to an effect I gave to the Swahilis. Take a look at my build up there. Back in the day. But I gave it to their sword line, where they had a bonus where their sword line would gain speed and I think it was just speed when charging and when close to an enemy. I like the effect. Definitely should exist. For the samurai, not really sure about that, but certainly will make them more useful. Koreans are receiving a massive update. Fuck yeah. We love it. Guys, remember my Koreans build? Go take a look at that up there. Oh, I was so proud of that sucker. That was what started my current La Vanilla spate. And it looks like I proposed Eruptors for them. They got Fire Lancers, which is, again, Eruptors and Fire Lancers, quite different, but at least this strikes in the same direction. They got the functional Huacha. They make that, yep, it's Civ bonus. Great. Or a team bonus? Cool. That's actually going to be really consequential and represents the spread of literacy and culture through Korea, though I kind of prefer it as a Civ bonus. Turtle ship shoots Rockies. That's sick. Okay. Muggled around with his stats. And then, good. Shinkichon does what it always should have, which is it makes rockets better. Fantastic. I'm so glad. Koreans deserve some love for so long, and especially after doing so much research on their history. Music to my ears. Thank you, devs, for these changes that make underused units more interesting and make underserved civilizations more historical. Thank you. Especially for the Chinese and Korean stuff. It is so wonderful to see, and especially after my recent projects on them, it is very gratifying for me. And a few Dark Age dungeons. That's kind of interesting. But again, not like my focus. Again, I'm focusing on historical stuff. Nice Vietnamese gain Fire Lancers. Sick. Oh, and they get Fire Lancer bonus HP. That's cool too. Random maps. Cool. Real world map. Great Wall. That actually looks kind of awesome. Is that like a neutral wall, I see? Sick. Quick start maps. No idea what that is. Map bounce. Oh god, this is definitely not what I'm looking for. I'm sure, again, it's super consequential, but not really what I'm looking for. Random map scripting. That's sick. Now, I'm not going to read through this because it's not my specialty, right? But this is sick. Anything that improves modding tools is good for the game. Hell yeah. We love it. That's awesome. Okay. Wow, and then you have color palettes, placeholder object. That's sick. Look at this. Look how pretty these are. New trees. Again, anything that improves modding and community creations is good for the game. That's wonderful. And then they got a dorky little panda on a stone. Ho ho ho. Everyone loves pandas. But hey, even if pandas are not my personal favorites, this is awesome. This is all just upside. Thank you, devs, for all of these fantastic free updates that make mod makers and community map makers' lives easier and their creations more colorful. We love it. It's fantastic. More animals. Woo! Herdable animal chicken. Excellent. They have limited movement, remain close to a spawn. Okay, awesome. So it's like another type of huntable food that you have to mill, effectively. That's fantastic. Oh my goodness. I've been wanting this sort of shit for a while. I've been planning a video forever about introducing new types of resource nodes. This is just going to add variety and coolness and make it so that deer pushing, the bane of my fucking existence, isn't mandatory. God, deer pushing gives me a headache. Okay. Revealers, cool, that's a modding thing. New terrains, sick, it's beautiful. AI improvements, awesome, we love single player stuff. Pathfinding, I'm sure a lot of people will love this. I had someone message me saying how excited they were for this change by itself. More modding stuff. Oh my god, new elevation height options up to 16 from 7. That's actually huge. That's so cool. Scripting. Oh, there's just a bunch of new stuff for modders that I don't really understand, but it's awesome, and I'm very glad to see it. And what's on the horizon? Okay, here we get to the meat. So they give a very nice message. Very pleased with that. 5 brand new civs, all playable in ranked multiplayer. Great. We're not going to get like a Chronicle rug pull of some kind. 5 brand new civs. And then also, presumably that's a major rework to the Chinese and to the Koreans. Now, I think it's time I guess what civs we are getting. Now, obviously we're getting Jurchens. Obviously we're getting Tanguts. That much is clear. What else will we be getting? I have a couple of options for you guys that I'm just going to rattle off the top of my head. And I'm pretty sure that that what we will get will be some combination of these. But hey, maybe they surprise me. That would be sick. First of all, a lot of people have been talking about Tibetans. Yes, Tibet is an option. Medieval depictions of Tibet are permitted in China. From comments I've received, especially from Chinese players themselves, who say, yep, this is a thing, you can talk about medieval Tibet. That would be awesome and would complete the theme rather nicely. Another option, Khitans. I really hope we get the Khitans. I don't think they mentioned changing the Karakitai civilizations in the Genghis Khan campaigns, but maybe they're saving that as a sneaky surprise. I think the Khitans would be sick. The Liao dynasty is awesome, interacted heavily with a bunch of the other civilizations they are adding, and it would be a shame to have the Jurchens and the Tanguts and not the Khitans. They totally deserve to be in there. That tech tree we saw earlier, you could maybe argue it could fit for the Khitans. If it ended up being the Khitans, I would be a little bummed, because I think it would fit better elsewhere. Another option. Imagine, if you will, we actually get a Korean civilization beyond just the Koreans, and have the Koreans renamed to the Joseon or something like that. We could get Goguryeo, we could get Shilla. I think Shilla is probably the best bet, though Goguryeo could work as well. I think they totally fit, and they are very, very distinct from later Korea, and would fit the theme very well, given that they interacted with many of the other civilizations proposed and reworked, including the later Koreans. They had, a succession war, and that could be a great topic for a campaign. Another option. So what do we have so far? Tibet, Khitans, Shillan, Goguryeo, and what else? I'm sure a lot of people have brought up those first two, if nothing else. I think a genuine Chinese split is possible. I know people are going to whinge if it's dynastic, but it should be. And we could get Tang, Song, Ming, with the current build that they are proposing maybe being the Ming one. Or maybe even just get Tang and Ming. That would be great as well. I'd love that. That way we could imagine something like this, right? Jurchens, Tanguts, Khitans, Tibetans, Tang, current Chinese renamed to Ming. Awesome. Tons of material for campaigns. Tons of material. It's so sick. And you might even be able to do something sneaky, like call the earlier Chinese civilization just Tangren. Like I mentioned in my build for them, they definitely are different enough to maybe merit their own ethnic group even. And then Song and Ming you could consolidate. Not my favorite, but doable. And besides those, who else are options? The Uyghurs. Uyghurs are an option as well. They were very consequential in what the hell was it, 700s-ish? No, a little later than that too. And they interacted with a bunch of the civilizations on this list that are like Tanguts, Khitans, Tibetans, Tang, China. A lot of civilizations interacted with the Uyghurs. They're definitely on that list. And maybe medieval Uyghur Uyghur Khaganate is something that's acceptable in China as well. And let's see, what the dang hell else could it be? Oh, and of course, the southern Chinese kingdom of Nanzhao. People have proposed civilizations like the Bai or the Yue or the Baipu or something like that to represent Nanzhao, which was very consequential and very, very interesting, and certainly not the same as the rest of China. I would love to see a Nanzhao-themed civilization. I'd be a little surprised if we got it, but very, very pleased. It could even be what we see in this screenshot, given how lush this climate is, and it looks kind of southernish. But I could be wrong. Also, the architecture is very funky here. You know what I mean? Look at that. That doesn't quite look like other parts of China, especially those red walls. Again, an architecture guy would be able to pick so much out about this. So that would be my list. Khitan, Tibetan, Nanzhao, something in Korea like Shilao, Goguryeo, a Chinese split, maybe even dynastic, Tang Song Ming or similar, and Uyghurs and Nanzhao. And if they sneak in a different one that I didn't see coming, props, guys. That would be sick. For this upcoming DLC with 5 brand new civilizations, thank you. This is wonderful news, and I'm very excited to see what you've done. Given that the teasers we've seen thus far, the architecture, the unit authenticity, all of it is looking great. And then on top of that, all these free gifts to the single-player community, the campaign community. You got stuff in there for the multiplayer guys. This is amazing. This is like so many things we've been asking for. And to that, and I'm sure many of those who are watching me too, say, thank you. This is precisely what we've been looking for, and I'm really excited to throw my full support and passion behind this DLC. The one last thing I wanted to talk about was price. Obviously, I do not expect this DLC to be priced for $15, especially if it has, like, the hypothetical 7 campaigns, 1 for each civilization, plus Chinese, plus Korean to go along with their massive reworks, and maybe those campaigns are even free. I don't know, kind of like with the Hindustanis thing during Dynasties of India, or, no, not Hindustani, Prithviraj. Yeah, he was free. That would be a lot to ask for $15, and while if they price it $15, holy shit. I'm not going to say that on YouTube. Let's look back to Dynasties of India. We got 3 civilizations and a major rework for 10 buckaroons. There has been inflation since then, and this is almost twice the size, not even including the free content. It's 5 new civilizations, 2 reworks, and hypothetically 7 new campaigns. And the Dynasties of India only brought us 3 new campaigns, because of course they kept Prithviraj and just made him free. If this is $20, I will be very happy. If it's $25, fine. Totally respectable. If it's $30, yeah, still, I think I'm less happy, but definitely better than we've gotten recently. Like, that would make it a damn sight better than the Mountain Royals, that's for damn sure. If this is over $30, I will get a little grumpy. And if it's like $40, I'll be like, Now, before you say, oh, but Rob, the Conqueror's expansion back in the day had about this much content, and that was priced way... Yes, it was, because the cost of development was way higher back then. You have to make the bloody CDs, you have to ship them out. They don't have to do that as much anymore. There's not as much overhead, there's not as much collateral, and the cost of developing games is dramatically lower. Though elements of the complexity are higher, so I'm not just going to say, oh, it should be freeware. That would be ridiculous. I think, in my heart of hearts, I'm guessing this DLC will be priced at $30, which would be acceptable. I would not whinge about that. If it's higher, especially much higher, might have a problem with it. If it's lower, best DLC of all time, without question. I will buy it day of, which is, for me, extremely unusual because I usually wait for things to go on sale before buying them. But let us remember that the price of the DLC is not set by the majority of people working on it, if not any of the people working on it. And so we should not use a bad pricing to condemn the efforts of the people behind a project. We should look to the fruits of the project itself and then make a conscious choice of whether or not we want to buy it and at what price. From what I'm seeing here, the devs have gone above and beyond, and it is commendable. And to them I say thank you. And to anyone with pricing power over at the Forgotten team right now, who actually has a say in what the product is priced, if you set this sucker lower than $30, I will thank you immensely. And frankly, if you just don't set it higher than 30, I'll give you a little thank you as well. Because this could be huge. And it feels wonderful being able to say that about this game that I love so dearly. God, I chose the worst time to, like, move away from YouTube because all of this new stuff is dropping. But don't worry, guys. Other projects besides news stuff are still forthcoming. I've just been having people on Discord and YouTube comments saying, Robbie, what do you think about all the new stuff? It's like stuff you've been asking for. Yes, it is stuff I've been asking for. It's so cool. And so once more from me, thank you. And I'm sure, again, that many in my comment section say the same. Speaking of those in my comments, I apologize that you haven't been hearing from me much recently. For any of you who've left comments hoping to get a response or have sent me an email or a Discord message, I'm really sorry. I'm working on my own game, Enclave, and I have a ton going on right now. But I do have other projects planned that will be coming soon. And so until those projects release, my name is Robbie Howell, and ciao for now.